Some would call it a U-turn by the Palestinian president. Mahmoud Abbas, who has long supported talks with Israel, has urged Palestinians to resist plots hatched by Israel and the US. The Palestinian president slammed the US government's offer to help ease the dire humanitarian situation in the besieged Gaza Strip.
As if the suffering of the Palestinian people in Gaza started today. No, it started since there was Israeli occupation and siege. What is the meaning of this American sudden awakening, with all its humanitarian tender feelings, to protect our people there and support them? I swear to God, they are liars.
Abbas also said the US wants to promote relief projects in Gaza to serve its own interests, and that this is aimed at separating Gaza from the West Bank.
Calling that because most of us cannot even imagine the misery the Palestinians are going through day by day. We cannot even begin to understand the psychological and the emotional disposition of the Palestinian people right now.
The US government has stepped up efforts to promote its so-called deal of the century. The US and Israel say they will help develop Gaza if people in the besieged region oppose Hamas. Israel has claimed it will make Gaza another Singapore if the Gazans do so.
The idea of divide and conquer is exactly that. They want to divide the Palestinians into little factions so they can control them better. And this is very, very wrong. If somebody was to take this step right now and say, okay, we're giving in, that will be the end of freedom as we know it.
It seems that Abbas and Hamas are on the same page, at least on the so-called deal of the century. They believe it's part of a US-Israel conspiracy. Nearly all Palestinians support the stance.
Palestinians have to stay together and come up together just like they have always been doing and fighting this, because that is the only way to show the world that, they are united in the cause, and until that cause is not achieved, they are not going to rest. I think that is absolutely crucial.
Meanwhile, the Palestinians no longer recognize Washington as a peace broker, and they accuse the US of bias toward Israel. This after US President Donald Trump moved the American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem al-Quds in May. The PLO has pledged to pursue efforts to thwart the yet-to-be-announced US deal of the century. The organization said the US administration is a partner of the Israeli occupation. It is part of the problem and not the solution. Most Palestinians also oppose the US mediation between them and the Israeli regime. Some observers in the West say the so-called two-state solution to the Palestinian issue is not flatlined yet. There are many others who believe the solution is dead due to Trump's recognition of al-Quds as Israel's capital.
The eternal heart of the Jewish people.